the fucking mailbox, runs it over, gets out, threatens everyone, gets chest to chest with everyone because he thinks that someone tried to swing at his son. And the kid's in the passenger seat being like,
probably should have asked first.
Probably should have asked. Probably should have asked.
Awesome.
He's just he's just too much of a red-blooded American winning machine.
You are!
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss!
Oh, hey!
Oh, yeah! Good morning!
And welcome to episode 1017 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, August 15th, 2022. Thank you for cheating on the news with us today. Wes has the whole weekend of news condensed into a single cup of coffee in the big time for you today to start things off.
Yeah, I got, some of it. Not the whole weekend.
The whole weekend. You hear to hear first.
You're right. You told me it was the whole weekend, so that's what I wrote down.
Yeah. You're right. Whole weekend.
Nothing will be missed in today's cup of coffee, brought to you by Wes.
100% accuracy, 100% coverage by Wes. I've got incredible news for nerds on deck. Really great
I'm
stuff.
excited about this news because I'm of the nerd that you're talking about specifically.
Right, so it's specifically nerds who like UFOs and nuclear power. This will be
love that shit, bro. I love that shit. I was watching one of those Joe Rogan clips came up on my feed recently where he's
what is he talking about?
He was interviewing some guy not Avi Loeb, so who really cares?
Oh, Jeremy Corbell. I would say that's a guy that we could talk to. He's pretty good. He's the one who uncovered the Navy UFO.
Cool. Well, but effectively the big takeaway for me was Rogan was like, do you think there's intelligent life out there? And the guy's like, well, there's a billion stars in our solar system or some shit, and then each one of those stars at least has a planet. So yeah, there's life out there. And they're like, yeah, 100%. We know life's out there, but intelligent life. And I was like, I just love that we've gotten to that point. This is a very different point than when we were kids, which is 100% life's out there. That's the consensus.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll
What's
see.
the big difference, though? I mean, we all kind of thought.
Okay, Wes. Okay.
We'll see when we get there, though. But this one definitely makes you think. This one definitely makes you think about it, Pat. You'll see when we talk about it.
Yeah.
And Pat has high bears in the TikTok International Moment, then making a stop back over in America for the latest on Lauren Boebert to wrap it up.
Oh, Boebert's husband, Jayson, with a Y.
With a Y.
Hi, Jayson.
Important distinction.
What are you
there.
doing, Jayson? Yeah, we have the 911 audio of a little domestic issue that took place between Jayson and his neighbors related to one of these new electric dune buggies all the kids are cruising around.
Jayson. It's like the Nordics, how they're like Anderson. It's like
the son of Jay.
Son. Yeah, it's like Jay. It's like the American. It's like the Florida version of that. Jayson.
What do you think a sex tape of them would go for? Those two.
High dollar.
I mean, I want to watch it.
High dollar.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'd want to watch it too. So I'm saying, what 10 million?
So polarizing. Yeah.
A lot of cash. I mean, she's undoubtedly attractive. She's not like super attractive generally, but for a politician, she's like a 12.
Right, and her attitude.
She's the AOC. She's the AOC of the right.
Yeah, AOC, but she's more attractive than AOC.
Just
potentially.
as silly.
Yes.
Both of them are very hot. And Mark is back in his natural habitat at a beach somewhere, probably just like about shit nips deep right now in the ocean. I guess. So.
I was texting with him because we bet on some golf together, and nice. he was playing some putt with the fam.
It's classic beach activity.
He said he dominated the fam. He said that was a good omen, and our boy Zalatoris took home the win. We knew that was going to happen this week.
You also know why that happened too. He's away from the rock. Surely he didn't take the rock with him.
What if he packed the rock?
No way. No way he took that rock with him.
He said
Those cats are in trouble.
He said in a text message, oh, the cats have found the rock. They're toying with the rock, batting it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be bad. He knows better than that.
No, that's when he's winning. He's on a hot streak now.
Yeah.
He's away from it.
I wish you hadn't asked that publicly. I wish you'd asked that privately. Then we could try to figure out if he brought the rock and if he had get the rock, or if he threw it away, like get a new rock that looks similarly.
Why would he bring the rock
We can
to the
still
beach?
ask him. Right, exactly. We could ask him.
No, I was saying for the sake of a prank.
It's true.
Getting the rock in there for when he returns.
I told him I would run a diversion for him. I'm gonna force him into it.
Yeah,
I know he's very apprehensive.
Why is he
You gotta have him
apprehensive?
take the rock back.
'Cause
You
he's-
could even hand
doesn't
it to
wanna do
them for him. Like he could stay in the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
And then you can go walk the rock over to the restaurant and be like, here you go.
I'd be like, this is insane, but I have something to give you.
I'll tell you what though. It's not a hard restaurant to return the rock to at all.
Right,
It's
they
you
would
just got to
just
sit
laugh.
in the booth
Yeah.
and then put it back.
Right, or just don't
So
say
easy.
anything. Yeah, just be there.
Well, he better get some content out of that putback though, because that'll be hilarious.
Let's do the news, bud.
Okay, let's do the news. Here we go. Cup of coffee.
Yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
All right. Cup of coffee in the big time. Fun fact. Did you know that indigenous
everywhere, Pat.
Americans are the only people allowed to hunt walruses legally now? Yeah. So
Indigenous Americans is in
Inuits.
Inuits, okay, over up in like Prince Edward Island or
We're
something.
talking
over
about
there.
North Americans because those are Canadians.
indigenous groups. Well, there's in Alaska, I believe there's some Inuits, aren't
and
there?
in Canada, I'm sure, right? Like on
Yeah.
the East Coast up
I
there.
think it's Inuit.
Inuit.
Yeah,
Inuit.
I think that's the plural.
Inuit, right?
I don't think they're Inuits.
Oh, Inuits. Yeah.
Could be.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
You know
I think
what?
you're
One
right.
time, there's a lot of Inuit tribes up in Alaska, and one time my wife and I were up there, and we were just getting sauced around town in Anchorage, and we rolled into a bar that was just all like elderly. I think Inuit. I don't know, whatever the tribes are up there, and they were hilarious. It was a raunchy time.
I
They were
never know
getting
you-
hammered.
They were hilarious.
Yeah, they were funny.
You
They
went to
were really
Alaska
dirty
with your
talkers.
wife?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. I've been wanting to get up there big time. I know you went as a children. I didn't know. You
Right.
went
We
recently.
went. Well, it was very early in our relationship. We were definitely still dating. But
There you go.
Alaska's awesome, especially when you go in the summer and the sun stays up forever. It's party central.
Yeah. And I don't know if that.
Kodiak.
I don't think that rule is worldwide. I think that's just for the United States. Maybe. Or
Right.
North America.
I'm sure the Japanese hunt walrus, right?
I don't
hunt
think there
whatever they
are
want.
walrus over there. They would hunt it. They would if they
extincted them, Wes.
they would hunt the shit out of walrus if they could.
Right, no walrus has gone to Japan for 1,000 years.
They call them Siuchi.
They might as well hunt them. They probably like grind up their tusks for like boner medicine anyway. Or
Oh,
something.
they've been extincted off that island for sure.
Anyway, a couple jokes. Didn't see anything fantastic in the Discord. Not gonna lie. And I wanted to,
There's a lot
And
of
I
trash in there.
I saw a good dad joke, but I couldn't.
Dad joke was all right. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not even gonna say it.
Wes is lighting a fire.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with the theme, guys. Why did the walrus become a plumber?
I don't know why.
Because he loves a tight seal.
Ah.
Yeah. Hey, where's the best dentist for walruses?
I don't know where.
In the ocean.
Tuscaloosa.
Those are
Hey,
good.
Pat, why did the walrus cross the road?
I don't know why.
Just for the halibut?
That one's my favorite.
Yeah.
The other two
they
don't
get
make as
low
much
enough-
sense.
Yeah. Can they get low enough in the water to get a how
Okay, Will. Okay, Will. Moving on. Moving on.
Well, halibut's a bottom feeder, so
Come on, Will.
you got to wonder.
Hey, man.
From the guy that's been to Alaska twice. Okay.
I think 3 or 4 times, but who's counting?
Oh, wow. 3 or 4 times. That's amazing. Okay, let's move on. Let's just get the sad out of the way. Anne Heche, she was declared brain dead on Friday. They took her off life support yesterday. They had left her on life support after she was declared brain dead because they were trying to find some suitable matches for her organs. So when that happens, when Anne Heche was an organ donor, so when they found out she wanted to donate her organs, they kept her on life support to keep those organs fresh, for lack of better term. And when they found a match, they took them out. And then they took her off life support. So she has passed away, unfortunately, from her injuries. She succumbed. A lot of weird stuff going on here. Apparently,
Very sad story.
Yeah,
I mean,
very, very sad.
Did anyone see when we first talked about the story? The video wasn't out, but the ring camera from one of the houses in the neighborhood.
Of her barreling
The car
into the
doing
house.
about 85, 90 miles an hour.
I've seen that one. I saw that one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she was going like so fast.
He was also an update on that first time we talked about it. We talked about that podcast. I was under the impression that the podcast was recorded that day. It was not. It was dropped that morning. And then they took it down. So I guess they were claiming
That's why it read.
Yeah, I guess they were claiming that like she just because she was drunk on the podcast didn't mean she was drunk when she drove into the house. But I don't know.
Regardless, if you're her podcast bud and you're getting hammered with a woman with serious substance abuse problems, maybe you need to look internally.
There was a lot of missteps in this tragic death for sure.
Yeah, few missteps. I was gonna play this conspiracy video that's going around that she's being wheeled out from the helicopter. I don't know.
It is brutal.
It's brutal.
Have you seen it, Pat? Have you seen it?
I don't want to see this.
Oh, it is.
Oh, well, now we got to
crazy.
show Pat. Okay, here we go. Here she is. They think she's in like a body bag. They said, and she's being wheeled out on a stretcher. But really, those are burn blankets they've wrapped her in, and the helicopter.
This is a helicopter shot.
Yeah.
Of her getting from the burnt house into the ambulance. And so
why is this a conspiracy theory?
Well,
because watch what happens at the end. People were saying it's a body bag, like Wes was saying.
People were saying she's dead, body bag, and then all of a sudden, she's up, she's alive.
Oh.
Why would
Now
you
I don't know
that?
if this is real or not.
Why would you
I
show
don't
me
know
that?
if it's real
Why would you
either.
show me that?
Well, because it was the big conspiracy. It was going
that
around
was
the
the
internet. It
conspiracy.
was trending.
Yeah,
It's
nothing
horrible.
graphic. Yeah, it's horrible.
Well, it's horrible it's very graphic if she's burned all over her body and that was a
Right.
human sitting up like you're burying me alive, but which means that she's in severe pain.
Right.
It's very
Right.
graphic in that respect.
Okay.
Yes. Painful death.
Yeah.
It was not.
No,
it was
with the
not,
context of the video, it's extremely graphic.
It was not easy. It was not easy.
Yeah.
Wes, watch out. It could be PTSD. Remember, I gave that to people from a video I found.
Trigger
online.
warning.
That guy almost reported you.
It's not a laughing matter. Anne Heche is passed away. She leaves behind
No, it's
two
very sad. It's
sons.
very
So R.I.P. Hey, don't drink and drive, people. Don't do it. It's not worth it. She's
for
lucky
sure.
that she didn't take anyone else with her. So, don't do it. Okay.
It's super sad, man. Her demons caught up with her in the worst way possible. But like Wes said, it would have been even worse had she taken out other people when she did, which she could have as fast as she was going.
Yeah.
She crushed into that house.
Right. Let's move on. R.I.P. Anne Heche.
Yeah.
Pat, you have your polio vaccine, Pat?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
Doesn't everybody?
Does the little
Is
guy
that-
have his polio vaccine?
I'd have to look. He's not fully vaccinated yet. He's like three quarter. That goes in stages.
Yeah, right. It's like a couple of months here.
You don't let
couple
him.
months there.
You don't let him play in sores though, or anything like that, right?
Well, we do live in New Jersey, so it's not that I let him.
Hard to
Well,
avoid.
Be careful. They Pat, they found polio.
Oh, cool.
In the
Up there in Oregon?
in the sewage over there in New York.
Washington?
New York.
New York. Okay.
New York, yeah, they found polio. So it's
That's
likely
good.
it's going to circulate. They said the New York State Department of Health said it's going to circulate, and it can lead to paralysis of the arms, legs, death. So get your vaccine.
Yeah, I wonder if that's related to all those people thinking that vaccines cause autism and then not taking them, and then like mumps and measles popping up for the first
Probably.
time ever.
maybe.
Probably.
Cool.
Yeah, not great.
Didn't know New York had so many anti-vaxxers. That's surprising.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jenny McCarthy. But you kind of evened out because you gave us so much good stuff early in your career.
It's true.
That's right.
It's true.
Guys, sports news. NFL season, preseason is underway. If you're into that, you know the scores.
Oh, yeah.
Let's check in on the biggest story of the preseason. Loose as a goose, Deshaun, Mr. Rubdown, Shiatsu Watson, as they call him.
Shiat's poo.
Shiatsu Watson. He was handed a little 6-game suspension. He's waiting to hear if he's going to get more. The judge who handed him that suspension that was appointed by the NFL Players Union said that she handed him that suspension because he didn't show any remorse. He didn't look like he gave a fuck, and frankly, he didn't. In his first 2 interviews given to the media, he said he had no regrets about what happened. He said that he was mad. He said he regretted how it affected the people close to him, but really didn't mention anything about the women. And now that Goodell might be handing him down a bigger penalty sentence, he's changing his tune. He talked to ESPN, and He has officially apologized. He said, let's see, quote, "I want to say that I'm truly sorry to all the women that I have impacted in this situation. The decisions that I made in my life that put me in this position, I would definitely like to have back. But I want to continue to move forward and grow and learn and show that I'm a true person of character, and I'm going to keep pushing forward." So blah, blah, blah. You know, he was forced to do it because he doesn't want to sit out.
Because that area was sore.
Well, what's funny to me is that you think Goodell was like he was gonna do the year long, and then when the Browns threatened to hire Kaepernick, Goodell was like, "Oh no, just have him apologize. Don't hire Kaepernick."
No, I think
do you think the Kaepernick move like put it like, you know what I'm saying? I think
no, because it happened before. I think the Kaepernick move was in fact in response to Goodell. It was in response to
Friday,
Goodell.
though.
It was. Oh, he apologized Friday.
Essentially,
But wasn't that the day after though? Because
Yes.
they were talking about
Yes.
Kaepernick on Thursday.
He didn't apologize
no.
until Kaepernick threat.
But that's not. But that's not what
Exactly.
happened.
So that's what I'm saying. So the Kaepernick threat, and then Goodell could have like hit the hotline to the Browns and be like, "All right, I'll do 8 games if you swear to me he'll apologize, and you will not hire Colin Kaepernick."
No. What happened was this: they Goodell was like, well, or whoever the PA was like, we'll hire an independent arbiter or a judge, right? They gave him what Goodell deemed, or the public most importantly deemed, a weak sentence. Therefore, Goodell was under the pressure of the public, came out, said maybe we'll give him a heavier sentence, and the Browns were like, whoa, this is bullshit. That's when the Browns were like, well, maybe we'll fucking hire Kaepernick.
I don't know if the public was 100%. I think the public was there. There's some upset about how harsh other suspensions have been in.
The Browns were fucking with Goodell with Kaepernick.
Yeah, they were for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think it made.
But I don't think it had anything to do with the apology.
I don't know. I think it moved the needle in Goodell's book. Because Thursday they're like threatening, "Yo, we'll hire Kaepernick. You think we won't, motherfucker? We'll hire Kaepernick, and he will kneel in your face all season long." And then Friday, lo and behold, Deshaun is apologizing for the first time ever. Yeah. Seems like something could have got worked out behind the curtain.
Anyway, the Browns did win their opener. Deshaun went from went 1 for 5. Who cares? I'm still, I'm kind of out on the Browns now until they hire Kaepernick out of spite. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, if they should follow through with it, that would be a hilarious quarterback room too, because like it would be Kaepernick, and then Jacoby Brissett is like would be the middle child there, and Deshaun is the starter. So you have like, I don't know much about Brissett's personality, but Kaepernick's like an activist, right? And then you have Deshaun, who's like definitely not an activist of any sort.
No,
so
he's active.
It would be
predator.
Quite a mix.
Yeah, he's active. All right. All right. More sports news, guys. Big announcement. I am officially a live guy now. Live golf. Fuck the PGA Tour. They cost me grands this weekend. So without getting too technical, Cam Smith, of course, announced that he's leaving the PGA. He was 2 shots back heading into Sunday. I had a bet where if Cam Smith, Sepp Straka, and Will Zalatoris all finished in the top 5, including ties, I put $100 on it. I was going to win $3,500. Now, he was 2 back going into the round. Before he even started playing the final round, the PGA found a little thing that he did Saturday's round on hole 4. They penalized him 2 shots. So now instead of being 2 back, he's 4 back. And you know the reason they fucking did this is because Cam Smith, had he won, would have gone to the world's #1 rank, taking over their fucking golden boy, Scotty Scheffler, who is still on the PGA. And they didn't want the world's #1 to be a new live golf member. That's my
dirty.
story. That's what I'm sticking to.
Are you livid?
I'm fucking livid. Now, of course, Zalatoris still won Mark and I some money, but fuck this shit. It is absolutely ridiculous. If
That's a Goodell style move right there. The PGA is getting too big for their britches. But to be fair, that is why they're also losing out to the Live Tour, because they got too comfortable being dominant for so long.
Did he deserve the penalty, though?
Yes, he did deserve the penalty. Technically, he deserved the penalty. But if it was anyone other than Cam Smith, they would not have been looking at that closely back at film.
But they were nitpicking him.
They were nitpicking. They were out to get this motherfucker.
By the way, did you guys know that nitpicking is a term about lice? Like when you get lice, their larvae are called nits, and you got to get in there and nitpick. It's a really tedious process. Yeah.
Ugh, sounds horrible.
Not that I've ever had lice. Never had it. So.
Well, I had the one kid in my class in like 3rd grade had lice, and
Gross.
One of the maddest times I've ever seen my father in my life. I had to go get lice, the wash, and our hot water heater was broken. So I had to wash my hair. My mom washed my hair with like ice cold water because we didn't have any hot water. And I yelled at my dad and I told him he needed to get a new hot water heater. And he almost threw me out the window.
You know, like that.
Especially for a guy who's like tangentially in construction. You know what I mean? Telling a dad that does a drywall business that he's got to get a new hot water heater. I'm sorry, bud. From his soft son.
Yeah, exactly. From his fat little son. You need to get a new hot water heater. My head hurts.
Have you ever felt your dad's hands? I know you have. Have you ever shook your dad's hands? They are rough hands. That man has worked.
Massive and rough.
You got to. I think in that field you have to have a little roughness on there. Otherwise, like people would scoff at you after.
I mean, it's mostly from all the golf nowadays, but
he keeps him rough. But he's earned that golf lesson.
Yeah, that's right. That was something. All right, moving on, guys. Fatwas are back in a big way. This time, Salman.
Turns out they never left.
They never really
in
left.
some people's minds.
Right.
Yeah.
They never really left, but they are back big time. They do exist. And Salman Rushdie found that out the hard way.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. A little background here. Salman Rushdie has had a bounty of $3 million on his head ever since he wrote the book Satanic Verses back in '88. So this story centers on two Indian Muslims living in England, and it reimagines parts of the Prophet Muhammad's life, and in one section suggests that the founder of Islam may have flirted with polytheism. Big no-no. You don't question Muhammad's faith.
You don't have ideas.
Yeah, no, you don't do this.
How dare you?
This book was met with bookstores being burned. It was banned in almost every Islamic country. They killed a Japanese guy because he translated the book in 1991.
Idiot.
What the fuck?
You don't work.
So in '89, Iran's leader called for a fatwa on Rushdie, and the bounty was $3 million. Iran stepped back that fatwa in 1998, saying, quote, it would neither support nor hinder the assassination operations of Rushdie. However, it wasn't officially taken back, right?
He's a sir, too. He's literally a knight. He's a knight of the British Association of Knights or whatever. Like,
that's right. He was knighted.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well,
so nearly 34 years later, the fatwa was back, and while he was to give a lecture at the Chautauqua Institution in Western New York, he was rushed on the stage. Here's the video, and he was stabbed by this fucking crazy guy. I'm not going to tell you his name. Some American-born dude. And he's pleading not guilty to all this stuff. Now, luckily,
you gotta at least own it, you piece of shit.
He's gonna fry.
Oh, you know where
not literally.
They'll send him. He'll go to ADEX, baby. He's gonna go to fucking ADEX.
They're gonna fuck him up in prison. That's
Colorado. You don't get fucked up in ADEX. They fuck you up with no human contact. Piece of shit.
Yeah, it's fucked up. So luckily, he's off of his ventilator as of Saturday, but he's got severe damage to his liver, and he's gonna lose an eye. So, yeah,
that's a bad attack.
Oh yeah, but you don't want to. He fucked up. That guy fucked up so hard. Salman Rushdie's brilliant, and he's a fucking really prolific and amazing writer. And what you don't want to do is come at a thinker like Salman Rushdie and not leave him and not kill him. You don't want to do that. You don't want to leave him with his typing fingers.
I mean, he's 75.
Yeah, something tells me they're going to put a fatwa on the next.
Doesn't matter if he's 75. Noam Chomsky's still cranking out great insights, and Chomsky's
but
80.
He's not going to just go out of his way to insult Islam again.
No, he's not. That's not exactly.
Yeah,
that's
but
the opposite of what I'm saying.
Chomsky's changed so much. He used to be.
He's gonna write some
Chomsky
shit.
used to be anti-authority, and now he's like Klaus Schwab pro-authority.
He's 93. He's
Chomsky
brilliant.
is like, his mind is like addled away.
One of the best minds ever, though.
Well, yeah, but it's changed so much. He is not who he used to be.
Study him, then.
Yeah,
he's 93.
I have.
I don't mean that.
Now
I mean
a Klaus Schwab guy.
Maybe we look at him, look at his mind where it's gone, right? Look where a great mind went, not study.
I don't know. He's like a big bug guy, Chomsky. I'm out on him.
75 is the new 55, Wes.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I mean, I don't know what he's going to write, but my son orders some food. All right. Anyway, good.
What do you think your son got?
I don't know because here's the truth: is that there was some leftover pizza in the fridge, and I got home from my
a fat
work
piece
last
of
night,
shit.
and I'm a fat piece of shit, and I ate it all. So he went to go like, hey, where's the pizza? And I was like, I ate that shit at like midnight last night while you were asleep, pal. And
You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. You think it'd be there?
yeah, moron.
You think it'd be
classic.
there? Look
That's
at
a
me.
classic.
Yeah.
My wife and I have that one all the time.
Oh, I do that. I did that last night. I ordered Chinese food. Kate was, I forget what she was doing, but I ordered Chinese food, and then she didn't want it. She's mad at me. Maybe I wasn't looking after the baby, whatever. So then she went to bed, and then today I'm just looking at it all day. Her portion.
No, it's tough.
And I'm like, she didn't want it, so I ate.
No, if you don't eat it, it's fucking.
Then it's mine because I paid for it. So, but what do you think your son? What do you think your son ordered? Like just straight up, like on his own. You gave him the phone. You said
This is
order.
the first time I've ever let him do this. By the way, I'm
Yes.
usually just because I'm
I
a
wanna
control
know.
freak. You want me to ask him?
Yeah, can you ask him?
Okay, hang on.
I want to know. What do you
Also just
think?
Pull up the thing. Yeah.
What do you think it was, Will?
Do you think he went pizza to get the pizza back that he wanted?
They're in Round Rock, so I don't know what's available there. You know,
I don't know. I always love an Asian delivery person.
I think he got one Asian,
What do you guys think?
Asian, or pizza.
Or
Popeyes.
pizza one.
He went
Popeyes.
He went Popeyes.
Nice order. Nice order.
Okay.
All right. Okay. enough
Thank you.
about that.
Pat and I were going on our personal biases of what we would.
I recently ordered Asian, and you were talking about
Yeah.
pizza. Yeah.
I basically only order Chinese or pizza.
Right.
Oh, also, no, I'll order burritos too sometimes.
I found
I'm
this
not even
place
sure how we did it.
in the neighborhood called Ryan's Barbecue, and it's not it's like it's definitely Middle Eastern of some sort, but it's
Right.
masquerading as a barbecue place. And dude, I'll be honest with you, shit's like on par with Texas shit.
No way.
Oh, so good.
No
They do a
chance.
brisket Sammy. Hey, buddy, I've been around.
Anything outside of Texas and Kansas.
Willie,
is
I've been
usually
around.
bad.
I've been around.
Barbecue.
Trust me on this. Ryan's Barbecue.
good.
Fucks.
Interesting.
Well, next time you're up here, we'll get some Ryan's Barbecue. It fucks.
I'll try it. I'll eat any beef, but usually if it's outside of those two states,
You
it
don't need no
sucks.
teeth for this beef.
Barbecue is on the sign. You know.
Where were we, Wes?
We were at just getting to the
The cream of the crop!
cream of the crop. Rushdie is recovering. My son ordered Popeyes because I'm a fat piece
Nice.
of shit. And guys, I don't know how else to say it, but Freya is dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so remind me.
Oh, well, Freya, Pat, how could you forget? It's the Walrus who showed up in Norway, but she is congenial and she jumps on boats.
Oh, she was the walrus that was like, "Hi, I'm here. I'm Freya," and some idiots
Yeah.
were like, "That's my boat."
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And also she does it. Mark covered Freya last week.
How
Wes?
did
What
she
was that?
die? Did she get hit by a boat? Is it a manatee situation?
And what happened, Wes?
Do we know? I think Wes is frozen.
And Wes froze.
It's okay. I know what happened to Freya. Do you know what happened to Freya?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much for the most part. Freya, the Norway government, right? They got mad at her. Wes, you back here?
I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. I thought I was about to yell at my son for being on the internet.
I like to get on the internet when I eat my Popeyes.
Yeah. It's all fucking finger greasy keyboard over there. Will you explain who Freya is? I imagine while I was out.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
good.
the,
Yeah.
she's the walrus. How'd she die?
Right. Well, they euthanized her. They shot her. Probably. Yeah. Norway did it. Go figure.
there you go.
So here's the map of where she's been. She's like been all over the place.
Mostly Norway, to be fair.
She gets around.
Right.
She goes to Scotland as well, and Denmark and France.
Put that
Here's
map
some
back up.
highlights. Here's some highlights of her getting into the boats that she sank. She's a hefty girl,
I love that one.
1,500 pounds.
But she's she doesn't know any better.
Of course she does.
Like humping this boat into the sea.
She's
It's
just a
amazing.
chunky girl who just wants to sunbathe.
And she's got tusks, and she likes to jump on inflatable boats.
And
which
you know when they do
deflate
that,
when her tusks break them.
you know when the walruses do that, they do the same thing that a dog will do, where it'll rest its head on you.
But that's a nice boat. She's fucking up right
So
there.
sweet.
yeah, she's fucking up. So
Put that map back up though.
The map, yeah.
See, it's all over Norway.
She gets
Look at
around.
You
It's
keep
the
your
North Sea.
map in Nordic languages.
it. Well, in local language. It
No,
looks like.
I just found that from somewhere. I mean, that's Denmark. Norway's over there. Actually, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
What about Storbritannia
I have no idea.
or Ireland?
The North Sea. She was around the North Sea.
Denmark.
Yeah, she was around the North Sea. But hey, listen to this. So the Norway's Directorate of Fisheries gave the most ridiculous reason why they did this. Okay. And they said, quote, based on an overall assessment of the continued threat to human safety through on-site observations the past week, it was made clear that the public has disregarded the current recommendation to keep a clear distance to the walrus. Therefore, the directorate has concluded the possibility for potential harm to people was high and animal welfare was not being maintained. Let me translate. This bitch is sinking boats and people wanted her head and we knew the public would fuck it up and all we had to do was tell them to stay away and there would be consequences. We knew they wouldn't stay away and now she's fucking dead.
Because people were kicking
Because people wanted their selfies with Freya.
They were taking selfies with her. They were probably throwing shit at her. Some of the kids, you know. Also, she was fucking up the boats, as Wes said. And I'm pretty sure that the subtext of all of this is like, if a walrus is shitting all over our boats, we're going to slaughter it.
Boat people are some of the richest people.
Right. They have.
I mean, they love their boats.
They fucking love their boats.
Right.
Boat people have little tolerance.
So all the Norwegians had to do here was be like, don't go near Freya, as Wes said. And then they knew people would break that rule. And then they're like, oh, now we can blame it on you, the citizens. So now Freya's dead because of you.
Exactly. Now, people were very upset about Freya, not happy. They were quoting David Attenborough, quote, I think sometimes we need to take a step back and just remember we have no greater right to be here than any other animal. That's from David Attenborough. This one is, here we go. It says, Das Walrus Freya werd England Schatzhof wel sich manchmal ich so sehr gader haben und sich darden in Gaffer haben, which translates to the walrus Freya was killed by the Jews off the coast of Norway today. No, I'm just kidding.
Not what that says.
I'm just kidding. No, it actually
add it again.
Yeah. It actually says the walrus Freya was put to sleep because we got too close to her and put themselves in danger. And then hashtag what kind of world do we actually live in? So,
oh my goodness. Yeah. Hey Wes, I brought my own Freya tweet as well. Can you mind if I read it
absolutely,
for you?
Please.
So this guy says, Tom Montgomery says, hashtag Freya the walrus. Now they've killed Freya, the gentle walrus who meant no harm to anyone. It's indefensible. Wild animals increasingly have no safe place in this world. Every single person who ignored the warnings should be deeply ashamed. She had her whole life to live.
100%, Tom. Jesus Christ, man. We don't need to kill this fucking walrus, bro.
No. It's terrible. R.I.P. Freya. How could they do it?
It's the equivalent of like murdering a specific bird because it was landing on people's cars in a parking lot. That's not a good one.
I mean,
I'm mad because it's
raven,
like a raven.
What's so
like a raven in
dude?
someone's driveway.
Well, what's so funny?
Got anything to confess, Will?
No. It's like a raven in somebody's driveway, which I understand. You know, it would be horrible if something were to happen to that raven. It's also hilarious to me, like that Nordic people slaughter pilot whales by like the thousands every summer, and this is what people are upset about. One fucking walrus. Like, give me a break. Like, it's such selective outrage these days about anything.
It's because they named her. She was a celebrity. I get it.
Whatever.
I mean, it's fucked up. I cannot believe they fucking killed her. They should have relocated her to a zoo at the very least.
Fucked up. It's fucked up.
Sure, but when you allow annual whalings,
these are two different things. Well,
in the same like vicinity.
Not every whale is a celebrity with a name, though.
Off a walrus.
No,
every whale has a name to someone.
This is completely different. She was a celebrity. People loved her. And I cannot believe they just offed her.
R.I.P. Freya. I mean,
Norwegian people are ruthless, man. I mean, it's fucked up.
R.I.P.
It's fucked up.
Are we gonna print the shirts?
Yeah, we're gonna come out with a R.I.P. Freya, just like R.I.P. Harambe. So look out for that soon.
Go to the Hard Factor Fund of memorializing Freya forever, which we oversee that.
Yeah, we oversee that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll pour a couple out for Freya. And that's going to do it for the cup of coffee in the big time, which was brought to you by Upside. Guys, from cringing at the pump to getting an eye-popping check at your favorite restaurant, inflation is hitting us all where it hurts. And it really hurts. That's why I started using Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or dines out. With every purchase, I'm earning cash back thanks to Upside. I recently cashed in my Upside earnings that I use every single time I fucking pump gas nowadays. Ooh. I look at my Upside app. It takes 2 seconds. I find out, oh, that's going to give me 20 cents back. I'm going to go there. It's on my way anyway. I think I'll just go there. Cashed it in. Now I'm going to enjoy some free Starbucks. Many other places you can cash it in, or they'll just send it right to your bank if you want. Cash back. So it's actually a really good app. A lot of people have been using it. We've gotten really great feedback from it, which is why they signed up again, because a lot of people fucking use it. So to get started, download the free Upside app. Use our promo code HARDFACTOR. Get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Then you just check in at the business, pay as usual with your credit or debit card, and you get paid. In comparison to credit card rewards or loyalty programs, you can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside. Upside users are earning more than $1 million a week. That's probably why they have a 4.8 rating on the App Store. Really, it's a brilliant app. So download the free Upside app. Use the promo code HARDFACTOR. Get that $5 or more cash back on your first purchase. $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase. $10 or more using promo code HARDFACTOR.
Get it. Upside. Helps get you that cash back. And we could all use it right now. And also, Pat, you said it was hot where you are earlier. Mm-hmm. It is so hot in my studio right now because I closed my AC vent to be nice and give my daughter more AC in her room so her room stays cooler. But it has turned my studio into a sauna.
Oh, man.
I don't even know. I need to get a thermometer in here because it is hot.
Temperature stick.
Sweating. Okay. Enough about me. Let's move on to the good news for nerds section. And it's really good news, guys, because some groundbreaking nerd-pleasing material has just dropped this last weekend. This first one is from Jazzy Jeff 42069 up there in Canada, and also Phil Wan. They both submitted this one. And shit.
You don't have your space helmet.
We just saw your pit stains.
You don't have your space helmet, do you?
Horrible, aren't they? They're Wes, describe to the listeners. They're so big.
I mean, they're large, just pit stains, as if you had just gone on a walk outside on a hot day.
I feel like I'm working out right now, and my video card just died. Fuck. Okay, but this first one of the two, many believe it's the best UFO photograph ever taken. It is the Calvine photograph. Here it is, fellas. See it?
Oh, yeah. Love that one.
Oh, wow. So when you say the Calvine photograph, why is it called the Calvine photograph?
Because that's where it was taken. Calvine.
Okay. So that's what they're calling it. Okay, that makes sense. Cool.
It was taken in 1990 in Scotland. So that's before they had HD cameras and whatnot.
So so what you see is it looks like it's looking over like a cliff or definitely like someplace
over the ocean.
At the ocean, right? And
No. It's probably hills behind that fence. It's taken at night.
Okay. So you have a plane. You have what's clearly a plane.
Yeah,
above that and closer to us, so it could be a forced perspective thing. Above that, closer to us, you have a diamond-shaped saucer kind of looking subject above it.
It's floating.
Two-tone. Yeah, it's interesting.
Floating. Those are clouds behind it. Yeah.
Now, Scotland has a history of generating fake photographs of the supernatural.
That's right. You're referring to the Loch Ness Monster?
I am, in fact, Wesley.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that, Pat. But this one from 1990 in Scotland is notable because they tried to cover it up. They didn't try to publicize this one like they do all the photos of Nessie. The photograph was buried, like I'm saying, at the time back in 1990, and people are only seeing it now for the first time. Just came out this weekend. The picture was taken at 9 p.m. on August 4th. 1990 by 2 unnamed male hikers on a hillside near Calvine, Scotland, just off the A9, they say, some 35 miles northwest of Perth, Scotland. And the 2 men reported seeing a metallic UFO that was observing fighter jets. So you see here, that's a Harrier jet apparently that the UFO is like in the line of sight with. And they said it stayed there for about 10 minutes observing the fighter jets, but then shot straight back up into the sky.
Yeah, it was like, these things aren't a threat. See ya.
Right.
These things got nukes on them? Nope. We're out.
Peace. I hope aliens have a hillbilly accent.
Me too. Well, from abducting all those hillbillies over the years, they picked it up.
What if they're just super advanced hillbillies? At the time, the photos were given to Scotland's Daily Record newspaper, who in turn didn't publish the story and passed it straight to the Ministry of Defense. But for unknown reasons, the story was never published, like I said, unknown reasons, quote unquote. And the photos vanished into Whitehall, which is what British people call the government.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Whitehall. It's like a derogatory term probably for the government. It's like Uncle Sam for us. And because it got silenced, it's always been a conspiracy theory over in Britain and Scotland until now that the photos are out. And how they got out was Dr. David Clark of Sheffield Hallam University. You guys can see him there. He's on the right. He's working on the current Ministry of Defense's UFO Files project. He tracked down former Royal Air Force press officer Craig Lindsay. You can see him there. Craig has the original envelope that the photo came in. And he still had a copy of the photo with the original envelope from the newspaper. So, like, he was the guy who was between the Ministry of Defense and the newspaper, like, liaising it. And he kept a copy. So UFO hunters are still trying to find the guys who took the picture. And obviously, like, we need some HD, like, footage and photographs now that cameras are so good these days to, like, really be convinced of anything. But considering this is taken in 1990, how convincing do you guys think this is?
So you'd have to examine the photograph pretty closely to see if it's been doctored, right? But if that's the original negative, you could say that the only doctoring that was able to be done back in 1990 was actual, like, cut and paste collage work, right? Like photo manipulation. And you know what's funny is you can notice that by looking at, like, a film from the 90s and the way that the like piss poor Photoshop they do, like in a movie where, like, someone's, you know, in a photo with their family, but they're acting, so they're not really family members with that person. It looks like shit. Mm-hmm. So looking at this, I don't know, man, you have to see the photo up close, but I guess there's a theory, right, that if Roswell was, like, the first incident, right, maybe that's when whatever aliens got the technology to come to Earth, and they kept coming to Earth, but then they don't need to come anymore. Maybe that's why we can't see them with HD photography.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, or maybe they, like,
Likely
back then they didn't cloak. What? Because
cloaking, yes, forgot about cloaking.
They have cloaking technology,
as seen in The Predator.
Wes, you believe this? Yes, as seen in The Predator.
I mean, you know, like, listen, like you said, cameras that are, you know, high tech enough, HD enough nowadays to capture a very convincing image of one of these things have been out for way too long, and I still have yet to see a very convincing, extremely, you know, foolproof image.
So this pic from the 90s does nothing for you then?
I mean, no.
Okay. Right.
Well, but what about the floating pyramids?
I mean, it looks pretty similar, right?
The floating pyramids was the best video I've ever seen.
Well, right. Most people say that they have these types. This is like a pyramid stacked on top of a pyramid, double pyramid. It is a cool pic, though. Whether you think it moves the needle for you on UFOs or not, it's interesting that it came out. It's been uncovered since being buried since 1990. And it's pretty creepy that the UK Ministry of Defense chose the year 2076 as the date to unseal certain aspects of the files on this case. So it's a good thing that Mr. Craig Lindsay had a spare copy. Otherwise, the Ministry of Defense was planning on burying it until 2076.
So we have similar disclosure laws here in the States, and it's related to the possibility of someone who's involved in something being alive. That's why they do that. Just fucking nuts, but yeah.
Look at that. Well, that means that they really didn't want it to see the light of day, but it is out there now. The Calvine photograph. You can check it out on the internet or youtube.com/hardfactornews. Next bit of good news for nerds from Lombard Trucking. A lab in California successfully ignited a nuclear fusion reaction.
Oh, what a bad dog.
What? Oh, no. A laboratory. Science laboratory.
Oh, shit. Okay.
In California, successfully ignited a nuclear fusion. That would have been a good dog, a very good dog, for the first time ever on August 8th, 2021. And nobody blew up. So that's, like, incredible news. They haven't been able to do it since that one time, August 8th, 2021. But it's a great start. The material they used to create the nuclear fusion ignition was deuterium tritium to make a super pressurized hydrogen plasma that magically ignited that one time so far. for the researchers at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratories National Ignition Facility. Place that looks like that. So they mean business. Like, yeah, they're doing some
out of
weird
Stargate SG-1.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look at that.
It
I
looks
don't
like,
even want to know what you do in that building.
it kind of looks like a really cleaned up version of that secret bunker that Arnold goes into in Mexico in Terminator 2 with all the guns on the wall.
Yeah. Or like
like
the final scene in Commando where he's fighting Bennett and all the pipes, the steam
Let
pipes.
off some steam, Bennett.
It's like I get cancer if I just walk through there.
or unget the cancer that's already inside your body.
Maybe so. You guys are probably both right because nuclear fusion is way too complicated for me to understand or explain well, but it's basically creating a fake star. The reason we can't do it yet is because we lack the equipment. And once we can, the only input is hydrogen and the only output is helium. It's how the sun burns, how stars burn as well. It's basically creating a simulated star. Obviously, once the process is achieved, it will drastically change the energy sector and make fossil fuels and inefficient clean energy methods like solar and wind way, way less important. So like right now, we're like Neanderthals fighting over like which clubbing bone is better when the gun is about to drop.
But it's all just based on heating water for steam, right? I mean, that's just the all of it.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that this thing once it can be harnessed, then it can generate clean energy that can replace. Yeah, it can replace the only input hydrogen, the only output is helium, and it can replace basically powering homes, powering whatever. At first, it's going to be the facilities will be so complicated and big probably that it can only power stuff on land. But imagine once you harness the power to create, artificial suns and use them to power whatever you need with basically infinite power. I mean,
like
it's going to unlock. Yeah, it's going to unlock all kinds of shit. So, it really is like the next step in energy, and it's getting a lot closer with California being the first place to successfully ignite one of these reactions.
Hell yeah! All right, I love that.
Yeah,
kind of scary.
Yeah, a little, but I mean, it's cool.
It is very cool.
I want to kill West Virginia.
Yep. Sorry. Not if Joe Manchin, who controls our government, has anything to say about it. Let's move on to the...
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
All right, guys, let's go over to Turkey. But before we do, I'm going to ask you, do you know anything about Andrew Thornton II? Andrew C. Thornton? Does that name ring a bell for you?
It rings a bell.
Okay. Remember we talked about it when news broke that this film was going to production, but Elizabeth Banks, the actor and director, she's directing a movie called Cocaine Bear. Do you remember we talked about that? Does that ring a bell at all?
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
I remember Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, well, that's why we covered it, because it was like, what the hell is a movie called Cocaine Bear about? Well, it turns out Cocaine Bear is a movie about Andrew Thornton. So Andrew Thornton, he was I believe a DEA agent, but more importantly, he ran a big drug smuggling operation out of Kentucky called The Company. And in 1985, September 11th, 1985, he was on a drug smuggling run from Colombia, and he was in a Cessna. And I guess the plane started going down. So he started dumping all the cocaine out of the plane and then jumped out of the plane, but his parachute malfunctioned, and he landed face down on a Knoxville, Tennessee driveway. And the cocaine went into the woods, and a bear about a week later came into town, absolutely yacked out of his mind.
He's having a good time though, probably.
Yeah, because he'd found the cocaine. Anyway,
imagine how much coke a bear could snort.
A fuck ton of cocaine.
It's got some big nostrils.
A fuck ton of cocaine. But the majority of the FBI file is released on Andrew Thornton. You can find it in the FBI's vault. I downloaded it a couple months ago. It's an interesting read. I highly recommend it. But not the point. Just wanted to give a little context. Wes, when you were in rehab, were there any junkies in there?
Yeah, there was only junkies in there.
Right.
Really? So there wasn't a lot of booze hounds?
It was I would say 60-40 junkies to booze hounds.
Right. And that's probably why, because of the opioid epidemic, right?
It was all opioid. It was Xannies and opiates.
Perks.
Right, perks. Because they break their leg at football practice, they get prescribed some sort of oxy.
Benzos and opiates.
Right, and then before you know it, they're on the street.
Oh yeah, that's how 90% of the stories are. My doctor prescribed me, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you could probably identify junkie behavior, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, I'm going to play a video of a bear in Turkey. Let me know what you think this bear's high on.
Okay.
He's in the back of a truck.
That's heroin.
What's he doing, guys?
He's just passing out. He can't get up. He can't walk out. He's just lounging in the back of a truck.
He's sitting down like a human.
It almost looks like he took a whippet too, but
yeah,
I think that's a opiate.
he's got the want-wants.
Man.
Now he's licking his lips.
He looks a little mangy too, like a junkie.
It's good. You know, it could be acid too.
He could be having a
He's-
trip.
Yeah, I mean, he could just be tripping his balls off. And
he could be real relaxed. I mean, it could be just a lot of
look
benzos
how
too.
chill he is.
He's so
Yeah,
chill,
true.
right?
Look, he's got his little paw over his junk too.
Could really be anything. Look at that guy.
He's the opposite of cocaine bear.
Right. Oh,
Yeah,
obviously.
no, he's not on cocaine.
Yeah.
we can clarify. We know that.
Yeah, well, he wasn't on heroin either, guys. Bears in Turkey have been getting high on some very, very bad honey and running an absolute muck. Park rangers found that disoriented bear cub after he ate, someone was on with the acid, a hallucinogenic type of honey. This, according to officials in Turkey, they call it mad honey. And the brown bear was just laid out in the back of some dude's truck who came in and was like, whoa, and then was like, oh my God, this bear is absolutely stoned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What is
that's awesome.
How does honey become mad honey?
Okay,
right?
so it comes from a specific type of flower, which makes sense, I guess, right? Like
Yeah.
heroin's from poppies. So this specific species of flower, which is a rhododendron flowers, this is according to ZME Science, and the nectar of these flowers has graenotoxin, which is a neurotoxin that acts like a drug when consumed in small amounts, and mad honey causes hallucinations and a high buzz. So I guess some of this honey got pollinated, the bees made it, and off this certain flower, and it's mad honey, man.
Wow, that's cool.
That's crazy,
Yeah, it causes
Sounds like the next big thing.
intense diarrhea,
right?
loss of consciousness.
Well, but yeah. So
Yeah,
do
too
all
much.
drugs, kind of, right? I mean, like all drugs have. If you were to list out the side effects of like fun drugs, they would have horrible side effects.
Yes, true.
Yeah, it's true.
Horrible side effects.
Yeah. That's my mouse again. Yeah,
Yeah, mouse is out of control.
dude, I can't remember.
We're having so many tech problems today.
I can't remember like how I set my mouse settings, how I wanted them. I reset the computer.
Don't worry. Look, it's a Monday. We're gonna be back on it. Like
That's
we're just getting our groove back. Tuesdays are our day.
That's true. Anyway, guys, watch out. Actually, I would fucking love to get dosed with mad honey, man. I would love that shit.
I mean, I love honey. Like it's one of my favorite things in the world.
It is delicious.
Yeah, I mean, it might be the thing I go back to.
Do you get
That's
local
what
honey?
breaks Wes's sobriety is mad honey.
What's that?
That's
you like
what breaks
local?
your sobriety is mad honey.
Yeah.
You get offered some
You know-
mad honey somewhere.
You know what I really love is the comb when you can get like a fresh honeycomb.
Oh yeah, never done that.
I've
in my
never
life.
had that.
Oh, dude,
like,
it's so
what's the
good.
difference in flavor?
It's just like if you can get it really fresh, it's just gives it a little bit of chew.
It's crunchy.
So it's like it's soft. It's like
You eat
it's
the
like,
comb.
yeah, you eat the comb. Yeah.
I imagine that you're like a bear. You're in the woods. You reached into a beehive and ate it. How did you get this?
No.
Is it like a fair?
You can buy it. It's expensive
you
as
buy
fuck, but you can buy it.
It's like right. You
It's-
can buy it
it's-
like
it's
at
a delicacy.
beekeeper place, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
or like-
a delicacy.
Okay. All right. Well, look, guys, I want to move on from the TikTok international moment and kick it back over here to the States for a second. So we've talked about on this show before how Wes had a moped way too early, right? Pre-16, right? Before you were 16, you had a moped?
Yes, I had a moped when I was in 7th grade.
Okay. And that's was there a grandparent who was party to you getting this moped, or was it strictly
No,
your parents?
it was my mom's guilt for for whatever.
Yeah, so it was a
And
guilt
then
moped.
It was a guilt moped, but and then
most
also
mopeds
I mowed a lot of lawns and paid for about half.
Oh, I'm not talking about the cost of it whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the having of it, right?
Oh, it was my mom was a very cool mom. She wanted to be a cool mom, and I used that against her, and I convinced her to let me have a moped.
Right.
like what all the cool moms are doing,
Right.
letting their kids have a
Right.
moped.
Right. Do you remember the Benedys who we grew up with?
Christian.
Right. Yeah. So those guys had they lived on the pipeline. Which in our two towns, Reston and Herndon, there was one. It was like a green space, very long green space, probably 40 yards wide, and it went for miles and miles. It was interrupted by the streets, but it went for miles and miles because there was a gas pipeline there, so you couldn't build on it. So they planned all the neighborhoods around it. If you ever skipped school, it was a great place to like walk, just walk the pipeline. But our friends lived on the pipeline, which is very cool. So they had like this green space that was like no other place in any of the neighborhoods we grew up in. So they had like go-karts and they had like an ATV. And I remember like seeing that and being like, Dad, can I? And my dad would be like, we would get you that, but we just can't. There's just no way we can in good conscience give you a vehicle.
Right.
Right? Because it's like the only place you could drive the vehicles on the street. Right. Now,
like crowded streets. Right?
Exactly. Before you're of age. Now, Wes's irresponsible parents got him a moped. No, but Reston, where Wes lived, had a really pretty cool, and to some degree, Herndon, but more Reston, had a very, very cool interconnecting series of paths, paved black paths that went through the woods.
Beautiful.
It was really cool.
To be fair, there was lots of moped kids in Herndon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, on your side, in your side of the neighborhood.
Well, my side of town was nothing but mopeds.
Yes. Yeah. Not on my side of the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah. Because,
Come over to Eldon Street, buddy.
Yeah, because parents were present. Anyway, my point being, a lot of times the only place you could take these things, if you were a bad kid, is on the paths. Because if a cop sees you on a moped, they're going to pull you over. Did you ever get pulled over, Wes?
I lived in constant fear of getting pulled over on an actual road until maybe I was like 6 months in. And then once I got the speed, the thing that made it faster, then I was I could go on the road.
But you didn't have a license plate.
Oh, absolutely not.
Right. Yeah. So, but it was really cool. Okay. And what Wes is talking about is he upgraded his 49.55 cc moped, right? Which would do about 35 miles an hour going downhill.
It's almost
Wes put the exhaust pipe on it, the aftermarket exhaust, which would make you could maybe hit 42 max ish, right? Still not a lot of great speed. Anyway, point being, I had a GoPed, went max 20. The long and involved story to explain. We lived in a different era than kids today, guys, because something happened in the last 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and that is the electrification of vehicles, right?
Oh, yeah. Every kid's got an electric scooter.
Every kid has a fucking electric scooter. We were gas
They sell them
powered.
at Costco. Do you know how cheap they are at Costco to get your kid an electric scooter?
When you say scooter, what do you mean? You mean like a European style
scooter,
Vespa?
A nice one.
A starter,
Like a Vespa
that goes
style scooter.
No. A Vespa
When you stand
style
on.
scooter is
When you
more
stand on,
expensive.
okay, but like a Razor style scooter.
But an electric Razor right now for
Okay.
for a kid like up to 8 years old is like $40.
Right,
And if
exactly.
you want to get them, a super fast scooter that like for 8 and plus, it's only like a couple hundred.
100%.
It's very cheap.
It's amazing. And when we were kids, there was the upgrade you could put on your actual mountain bike or your road bike, which was a motorized version, but it was literally a combustion engine. Now you can strap those things on your fucking bike, and as a kid, you can have a motorized bicycle. It's insane. It's fucking insane.
They're so popular. They sell the motorized shit at Costco.
And these
You can
things
just pick it up off the shelf.
go fast, guys. They don't max it at 19 miles an hour like my GoPed or 29 miles an hour like Wes's moped. These things go fucking fast, right? And apparently, there's not Razor. Maybe it could be the same brand, but not Razor like
This is like those super fast scooters that we've covered like before, where they do the races on.
100%. But
yeah.
you guys all know what a Razor is. It's the stand-up scooter, right? So apparently, there's another brand called Razor, but makes dune buggies. Okay, these are electric dune buggies. They're like the go-karts that we had, but again, way faster. And Lauren Boebert, the congresswoman from Colorado, and her husband Jayson, they got
Why? With a Y.
with a Y. By the way, when I was a kid, desperately wanted my name to be Jayson. Thought it was a very cool name. Now, not so much. Glad I didn't.
With a Y. Interesting.
I
It
never.
was a cool name back in the day.
It was so cool because the fucking movie Jayson came out, bro.
I mean, it's just you. If your name was Jayson, you were cool.
It was badass. Yeah, I bet that Jason's pro rata got laid earlier than any other name.
No, my cousin's
should do a
boyfriend's
name
name was
by
Jayson.
name.
He was cool as fuck.
Yeah, they have knives. Jason's always have knives, dude. Fuck, man. And mopeds. Anyway, whatever. Jayson with a Y, Lauren Boeberts' husband. She has those 4 boys, 4 kids, varying ages, probably 10 to 16-ish. I don't know. They took that famous photo, the Christmas photo of them. This is us with our guns, whatever. So I guess Jayson with a Y bought one of their kids one of these Razor dune buggies. Okay, and these things go from 50 cc's, right, for about $1,500 to 250 cc's, 300 cc's for about $2,500. To give you an idea, that's 5 times faster, more powerful than Wes's Tomos Sprint.
300 cc's you should not let a child have 300 cc's.
But with electric technology, you can do that. You can get there pretty quick, pretty cheap. But they're doing it anyway. Apparently, one of Boebert's kids was cruising up and down the neighborhood with his non-street legal Razor scooter, and some shit happened. So I'm going to play you the 911 call, which is hard to find, but it is fan-fucking-tastic. So this is in Colorado, where the Boeberts live, and this is 2 911 calls about the Boeberts kids and their Razor scooter, and then what the husband, Lauren Boeberts' husband, Jayson, did.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
We got these teenagers going up and down the street on this in this dune buggy, and they won't even stop. They won't even stop with us in the middle of the road, and they're young. They're going up. Now, it's the Boeberts. If you know who the Boeberts are,
I do not. I'm sorry.
Oh, anyway, I need a sheriff out here. They're speeding you know those dune buggy things everybody's driving now, those Razors or whatever. He's just speeding up and down the road, all over the place, just freaking through his property.
You do see kids in nice neighborhoods with these
He's going like 50 miles an hour, and this is
the nicer the neighborhood, the more of these you see.
They're $4,000.
And he just, we tried to stop him, and he just freaking cussed at us and just left.
911.
There's a domestic situation happening right in front of my driveway, and now he's driving away, I think, just about fighting. It's bad. It's Lauren Boeberts' jackass husband, Jayson. He's running over my mailbox right now. Stop, you jackass! Get the fuck out of here!
And you said
Come on, man.
Over your
what
mailbox?
are you doing? What did we do wrong? I live here. I didn't even...
Sir, talk to me. Sir?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I need
There's about to be some shit going down here.
Okay, who is the
Lauren Boeberts' jackass husband.
Lauren?
Jayson Boebert.
Jayson? Okay.
Lauren Boebert's
What's he
husband.
driving?
Yeah, Lauren Boebert, the congresswoman. He's driving a Ford pickup F-150, and he was pissed off at my neighbor because he told his son to slow down on his Razor, ripping up and down the neighborhood. It's all he did. He didn't do anything bad. He told him to slow down. He flagged him down on the Razor by waving his hand. The kid stopped. He said, please slow down. This is a residential street. There's kids and animals all over the place. And the kid, of course, being who he is, said, fuck off, and gunned it and ripped down the street about 55 miles an hour. And then 5 minutes later, he shows back up in the passenger seat with his dad driving a pickup truck, a Ford F-150, and that's when all hell broke loose.
Okay. Now I cut it down significantly, but I
mean, the Boeberts, that's on brand. You're not
the idea of them be like, son, you got to slow down, and then be like, fuck you, fuck off, and then speeding away is
Jayson.
Yeah.
So apparently
those kids, like if the Boeberts family, I imagine them to be exactly like Ricky Bobby's family in Talladega Nights. Like I think of their dinners to be exactly the same. And like everything is just exactly like that. And then Jayson is Ricky Bobby.
So apparently, here's the worst part about it. This is why you can't give a kid a fucking vehicle that can do this on the streets, because the neighbor, and I have no doubt that the neighbor might have been mad, right? Just like if you were 16 years old and in your car speeding down the street, the neighbor might say, hey, slow the fuck down. I doubt that the neighbor used language on the 12-year-old or whatever, but the kid went home and told his dad that the neighbor swung at him. Oh, so and then the dad came down. So the kid went home and told a lie.
So the dad asked no questions.
So the dad came down and the part I cut out, he's like, this guy's dumb as a post. He's trying to fight everyone. He's chest to chest. He's chest to chest with everyone. So Boebert's husband comes down, knocks over the fucking mailbox, runs it over, gets out, threatens everyone, gets chest to chest with everyone because he thinks that someone tried to swing at his son. And the kids in the passenger seat being like,
Probably should have asked first.
probably should have asked. Probably should have
This is
asked.
awesome.
He's just he's just too much of a red-blooded American winning machine to ask questions first. He's just got to run over your mailbox.
Which one of you swung at my son?
I had to prove my point coming in, and now I'm going to ask the question.
That's
and get
my
to the bottom of
son.
this.
That's my. He came from my loins. Yeah, clearly the guy who called 911, you could tell was probably more of like a de-escalator. The guy was like, I didn't even say anything to him.
Just locked
he didn't say anything to him. It was the other neighbor that told the son to slow down. He's like, and he's running over my mailbox.
No, Jayson
He told me to shut the fuck up. I didn't open my mouth.
he doesn't give a fuck, man. When he rolls up, whatever he sees, that's how he interprets it.
Right,
right.
The operator also asked later on the call, now, do you think that he's armed? And the guy started laughing. It's like, do you
Like,
know
have you
who
ever
he
seen a
is?
picture of him? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's always armed.
In every photo he's ever taken, he's armed. Anyway, I thought that was pretty classic. But that's
Jayson.
that's standard rich kid shit. That's what it is. That's standard spoiled rich kid shit on the
Yeah,
street.
that's what I was saying during the video. Like, when you, in Reno, like you see a lot of those in nicer neighborhoods. The vehicles that the Boebert kids are.
Well, it's
driving.
parents
The
who
nice-
think that the law does not apply to them and their family.
Yeah, but like especially in that setting, like because I know it's a pretty country like district, so it's like if it's a nice neighborhood out in the country, that equals those vehicles zipping around everywhere. Like that's what I've noticed in Reno. Like you go a little bit out of town to a nicer neighborhood where like there's really nice houses and but they're out in the country a little bit. That there's like little vehicles like that all over the fucking place.
Oh, the neighborhood guy, the head of like the neighborhood like association or watch or whatever, he put flyers in every mailbox about me and my moped. It was like because there was another kid that had a mini bike and we were like a little like duo
Gang.
trade
You gang
mini
up.
bike, yeah,
Right.
And he put out a flyer like, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's some mini bike and moped activity. He was just clearly just talking about me. I mean, it pisses people off because they're loud as fuck. I mean, the electric ones aren't
Not these
loud.
ones.
Can't
The
hear 'em.
electric ones are quiet, but they're just dangerous because they're fast.
You know what sucks the most is, and I get this again, dude. As a kid, I desperately wanted this, and my dad was cool enough that he would have gotten one for me if we just couldn't where we're from. We just couldn't. I imagine where the Boeberts are from. The guy said on the call later, I cut it out. He goes, I ran 100 yards to my house to get my phone. I was on the street. So it sounds like it's not rural, but the houses are spaced out. That's why you go to Colorado anyway, right? But this kid ruined it for fucking everyone is what he did.
No, in a neighborhood like that, give it a couple years, somebody else will buy their kids this thing, and they're
Apparently everyone has them. I had to look it up.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, no, that's just they're very common in these types of neighborhoods. And so as soon as like a Jayson has a son with one, and then he's gonna mailbox first and ask questions second. Like,
Yeah, here,
He's
son.
running over my mailbox, you jackass.
You telling me if anyone gives you any shit out there about this?
He swung at me. Now, don't get me wrong. I did something similar one time when I was riding my bicycle down by Hollywood Golf Course in Ocean Township, New Jersey, which I still never have played at and desperately want to play at, by the way, if anyone has hookups at Hollywood. But I was 8 or 9, maybe 7, and it was the furthest I was allowed to take my bike, and the golf course owned that road. It was a little road that my buddy lived off of, so it was pothole central. And I fell off my bike, and I thought to myself, if I come home and my parents see these scrapes and scratches on me, I'm going to be banned from going over to my friend's house. So I went home and I told my dad, I said, Dad, someone stuck a stick in my spokes. They had a ski mask on. And my dad, I still feel horrible about this. My dad was like, get in the car. And we drove around for like an hour looking for these teenagers.
Looking for a ski mask guy?
that didn't exist. Yeah.
at least your dad didn't Jayson somebody.
No. He would have Jayson someone.
Yeah, he just rolls over their mailbox. I can see Big Mike getting a little upset about
Yes,
that.
Big Mike, the pacifist.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, let's do the wheel.
Wheel time. The show tomorrow will be
Jason.
Wes again on the cup of coffee.
Hey,
Wes
man,
is
it
double.
gave me a break last week, so
Wes can't get enough coffee this
Jayson, no!
TikTok international moment. Looks like it's coming back to me, William. So you got the W's bringing you the segments. You got Pat with a wild card story tomorrow. That's it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, guys, get out there, have yourself a great fucking day.